So this is coming off the back of the previous fight video. We were featuring Melowato Matt, awesome content creator, awesome Bushiroad judge for Cardfight Vanguard. We'll be also having we also had some other guests in the middle of this discussion video as well, with Mushrex from Mushrex VG, and we also had Vicious Vision, a awesome content creator. Have an awesome time hanging out with, but talking about somebody else you can have an awesome time hanging out with, let's talk about CardfightMeta.com. Most of you know that on Twitter you can go on hashtag VGTopDecks to find all of your decklist news, Cardfight Vanguard information, and competitive information from all of your content creators or very well-known individual players from all over the world. But sometimes you have moments, man, I can't remember that one deck from that one tournament. But look no further, you can head over to CardfightMeta.com, where you can submit your deck lists, raid articles, and news and information from contributors and content creators alike from all over the world. There's a chance of going to the Meta English regions, in JP regions. You also have tournament analysis, tournament results. You have deck list submissions from all formats at all times. You've also the archives, where you could take a look at previous deck lists and information that was posted months and months ago. You can submit your deck, be it a competitive, at an official Bushiroad event for any of the formats, or be it a community deck list, where you probably have a very spicy and interesting idea. So don't forget, head over to CardfightMeta.com. Wow, that person has a pretty swell voice. With that being said, thank you to all the people who were featured in this video. Hopefully you guys like the content. If you like more styles of videos like this, be sure to say it in the comment section below. With that being said, to see you guys when I see you. Okay, take care.
No, they don't want to show off all their power for now. They want to show it off during PCS.
Yeah, exactly. Are you gonna be playing PCS, by the way, Matt?
I'm debating going to one of the others, because I still want to judge London.
Okay. Well, fair. You want to judge your hometown.
Yeah.
It's fair enough.
Well, I say London, UK, wherever it ends up being.
Please, don't do London. It was super expensive.
Yeah,
they probably might do London. Still.
I'm honestly half more hoping they get Cardiff again.
Yeah, Cardiff will be perfect.
Yeah, but Cardiff is a lot cheaper, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it depends on how much Bushy is willing to spend for venue, because people then tend to forget.
What? Well, no, because Firestorm's got a big shop over there.
Oh no, I get you. But I meant in the sense of it depends on logistically where Bushy wants to put it up. So even if they might have places somewhere that they could possibly go, it's still not up to.
Yeah, because Cardiff is one have used before in the past, obviously.
Yeah, of course, exactly.
So it's down to Bushiroad at this point what they want to do.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Matt. So run me through what your weekend preparation was like for BRO.
For preparation for Pro, there really wasn't any. It was just literally looking through the decks prior to the tournament, deciding, okay, this will be interesting, this will be just for getting stuff on stream. And then obviously going through round by round, okay, what's this person's score? Do we pray that he wins his next round and get him on later? Do we get him on now? Which obviously then when it gets to the later rounds, you're looking at the X1s and then cry because everyone you picked in the earlier rounds has kept winning. Yeah,
because I did see the deck feedback and stuff that you and Core had placed. Oh, hi Core, by the way. How you doing? I'd said both in place, and it was like, hey, some of these decks can be kind of interesting. I saw the one with spikes. I saw the other one with silver thorns and stuff too. I was like, oh, please make it. And then they didn't make it. So alas. It didn't happen.
Well, we tried to get the interesting stuff, but it just then got too late when it was getting to rounds 4 and 5, and there's a few interestings we wanted to still get, but they were then either dropped or out of the running at that point.
Fair enough.
Because there was very much a Tetra Drive premium that I wanted to get on, but I risked it was between that and the Neos.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd have picked the Tetra Drive, we could have had the Neos round 4. But we got for the Neos,
Mm-hmm.
Tetra Drive then lost and was out of the running.
But then, yeah, you can't really like know
Yeah,
what's
you
gonna.
can't. It was literally a guess situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because my thoughts were, I haven't seen the Neos in action, so I thought they were the safer option to go for because they might lose, they might not lose. Whereas Blue Wave, you've still got Pursuit Assault.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
But 50-50s, but hopefully we'll try and get plenty of non-Gurgits on next week.
Try to avoid much of them as possible. Yes, that'd be much appreciated.
Avoid half the meta is the honest response.
In all honesty, I don't know if you'll see, like, obviously you'll probably see a lot of Gurgit, but I don't know if you'll like see that much because if I remember correctly, there's not a lot of Gold Paladin players in Europe. Not a lot of them.
No, I'm expecting about 20% to be Gold Paladin's honest response.
Yeah. So maybe like 20 decks, 15 decks, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
But it was all. The thing is, though, the numbers so far are a lot lower than premium because obviously everyone's scared because of Gurgit.
Fair enough. True.
Is it also that like less people are participating?
Yeah, less people are participating because of Gurgit. People aren't enjoying the format because of Gurgit decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, even before Gurgit, not a lot of people were enjoying V anyway.
Yeah, because prisms.
Yeah, it's a really still.
Yeah.
Like even after Gurgit gets hit, then it's Nitro's time and stuff like that. Like,
I don't know. I do feel some of once you scrape off enough of the top layer, we do get interesting, which I think is what they're waiting for post BR04.
I mean, you'll get to the point that if you want to try to scrape off enough off the top, you'll get to the point that Deleter becomes relevant, and I don't know if that will be. You know what I mean? Like by that point, you might as well just play Deleters or something because that'll be pretty strong, I guess. You know what I mean?
But no, if they scrape off enough of the Gurgits, the Night Roses, and honestly the Luards, I'd say still needs a little tap because of Ildona. But past that, I'd say you might get a bit more variety out of it. But then it's another wait and see time again because someone finds something else to break for BCS.
True. But the thing is, like, Luard won't be as good over here because we don't have Charon over here.
Yeah, true.
So, like, even if we do get Idola, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it gives another something I've been saying is creates another choke point for the deck. But people are still complaining about it, so it might end up happening.
Fair. Fair enough. Oh well, it is what it is.
I've not tested Luard. I'm not a Shadow Paladin person, so I can't give an honest response on it.
Like we not having Garen is a huge deal. Like insane huge.
It's
definitely
very big. It's very big.
Because Luard want to set up Ritual 3 before like going into the Great Cheater, but they cannot do that because to do that you need to like use Leoform. Which costs a counter blast, and then let's say for example the opponent didn't quit early game, then the opponent player need to like pass turn, and then the ward has like the market generation, but you don't have a field, and it's super clunky, and then you don't really use Ildona to your best of your abilities.
Because like you could probably play something like Knees, I guess, for the Soul Blast, so you can get the ritual, but then you will need to have a Curse Lancer in hand so that you can get the counter charge, maybe.
Yeah.
You can't have any CB face up. It's just very cringe. It's very awkward.
To play into Ildona, you've got to make your deck a lot more inconsistent, which at that point is just not worth it.
No.
The only Shadow Paladin that you should only consider is just Raging Form at this point. Right?
Yeah. It's just infinitely better right now.
Yeah. Definitely. And even then, I wouldn't say Raging Form needs hitting at this point with the honest response.
No, not really. No.
It's literally deal with the Gurgit situation. Tap Night Rose because it's going to become the dominant deck the moment Gurgit goes. And I honestly think we'd have a nice healthy meta for BCS then.
Yeah.
I even think that like even hitting Gurgit is already good enough because like yes, Nitros is probably like one of the good decks, I would say, like tier 1. But like some class selection decks are really fucking solid after that as well. Because like stuff like Steam Maintenance becomes really, really good after class. And I'm really happy, of course.
No, I guess
it's Navigator. I think is long overdue his welcome at this point.
I was about to talk about that too, because the clan selection is just what Dave mentioned. I feel maybe we just wait after clan selection, because there are like a lot of archetypes that get like a lot of buff and a lot of support. Jewel Knights gets a small bump. Go ahead. Yeah. Small issue as well.
Yeah.
No, what was small issue?
It's just more the fact of they aren't going to do another ban list for us mid-spring BCS season. So whatever we get post BRO is going to be our ban list for the rest of the year. So they need to deal with some of the stuff from Clan Collection preemptively, which is the worst part of it.
What do you guys feel about the hits necessary that feels like V Premium would need? What do you guys think of like what should happen to the V Premium format overall?
Well, the other option is just nuke the format, but I don't think that's a popular one.
You mean like completely abolish the format, or?
We're at the point of he's getting half of them to fairly support all three formats. Because if you look at the sets, we're getting so many for Overdress, 2 for V and 1 for Premium a year. And the majority of the V stuff hasn't made an impact on Premium. So
that's fair.
And the way the events are coming to as well, because they're struggling with the whole V versus Premium alongside Overdress, the IRL events, does then lead to which way do we go? Do we get rid of V or do we get rid of Premium? And the honest response is Premium's the better one to keep because it is the eternal format.
Fair. And Overdress is their bread and butter right now, so they need to keep that right in. So fair enough.
Yeah. Because they can still support the V mechanics in Premium, because they can do like Striders that have got imaginary gifts. They can still work with that kind of stuff.
Do you think that is something that it could possibly do due to the V protection being removed soon? That the VR protection is being removed soon? That it could possibly do Premium format reprints with V cards in it?
Very much so.
You can easily do that.
Okay.
I'm honestly half expecting another wave of, like I had with last time with the Revival Collection, where we got all the bad boss units. They can easily do that again and put a VR for each clan. And then do another little clan collection-y type thing later down the line that supports another wave of the VRs, just to get them all into circulation.
I expect first, like, that the second round of like G boss units comes around. Somewhere in clan selection.
What I would love to for future Premium support, if they plan to homogenize both of the formats together and just make it overall just Premium, it just have a whole bunch of like legacy set. Have the archetype of a deck that probably won Worlds, and have that be printed as a deck or as a booster set or something, or have that, here's your new V card that has like a pseudo on-stride ability or something, just like the Jewel Knights has it, where it introduces like extra mechanics to V archetypes that can also be used with G cards, which would be really nice.
Yeah. Because we are getting to the point of it is becoming 3 full-on separate product waves. Because the Premium stuff's obviously exclusive Premium. The V stuff, bare minimums are working in Premium. And Overdress, not much of that is moving over into Premium at this point.
Yeah, actually it is. What? Selfish Engraver. That's a lot.
More of it, as of later, they've started to do, more of it has started to work its way over, but at the beginning, it was literally a select handful of cards that are actually viable.
But that's logical, right? Because like at the first wave, they really focus around the five the boss units and like their archetypes, and then everything is so restricted about that. And like you saw, let's except after set 2, 3, 4, like they make more generic support, like the card for Stakea, which the Oracle Knee was based on, of course. You have the Shield Basher still. You have for Dark Stage, you have actually quite some good generic cards, which like
definitely
many people still sleep on some.
No, I do agree. I do agree now that the format has more developed, that we do get more out of it, but it's one of those.
Standard, if I may.
So what you say?
Go for it.
The bosses of standard don't need to be able to transfer over into premium because you have your standard decks, which are distinctively their own theme, and then you have the support cards.
Yo, Tiamat Dragon, it's Duff Dude. How you doing?
We have the support cards, which primarily may be made to support the standard ride.
I thought I was muted. Whoops.
But because they are the support and not the central character, those are the cards which may in turn also be being designed with premium support in mind. So the actual main ride line cards, so the Vanguard as well, that part being standard only, that's perfectly fine and reasonable. At the same time, the more of the support for standard ends up being premium viable, because it is in a nation pool system as opposed to the old clan style system. The relative supply demand skew is way in favor of the demand versus the supply, so we're going to see more expensive cards as a result of them being good for premium.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think a card like Mape was the perfect example for that, right?
Maple?
Yeah, the Maple, from Tecria. Like the one that when you write something or like when something is placed in the right phase, then you can like call it out. And you already see like some decks that experiment with it because Striding works with it, but it's also a really good support card for Tecria.
Yeah. There are a few cards though, like in Dark Stage, not just Engraver. At one point we see One Loop, so it's also part of a DI deck where like it's one of the very few clans that has strictly unguardable attack, just like Ichikishima Popo. In set 4 you got Chegra, which is acts as like a greed chain. It's actually a greed chain for Dark Stage as a whole, but the only clan that can use it properly is DI. So now in set 6, we're getting this new Dark Stage Grade 1 that's like doubles every card in Soul Charge, and we're already seeing that being in testing.
It doesn't double the Soul Charge. It adds one.
Essentially. Yeah, but
adds one.
You get what I mean. It just adds one to every single card, every single time that you Soul Charge, right?
Yeah.
So
it adds one. Yeah, so it doesn't double because.
Yep. There's also, I mean, not just this, right? We also have others like nations. It doesn't have to be made most sets. It can also be promos. So we see Epics in Grabru in Japan. You see Drag Raider in Ethos and not those second place your Yankee list. You also see like other promos being used. So I'm really excited to see this promo for Slovakia. It's basically on paper doesn't seem that great. It's end of turn you pop 1, you call 2 tokens. So, but in Great Nature, this is insane.
And a whole lot of Neonectar archetypes is also pretty insane. I would probably play this in my token list. In my token combo list. It seems pretty good. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So like, there's also been experimenting where Great Nature right now is playing a clan token base, and they basically just call, hey, this is just better Neonectar. We just stole their team, but it's a better clan. You know, it's also this joke, right?
Plan token engine in a clan that isn't Neonectar. Yeah, that's actually a good point. One I hadn't thought of.
I mean,
you just give it a whole bunch of power and it dies end of turn anyway, and it doesn't really matter because it's not a card.
It has really good synergy with Big Belly because one pop of its own through its own skill, it's a draw 1, and then with Ardillo, it's basically you got free boys on the board, so the one card just turns you into 3 cards in hand for card advantage, just off one card. It's insane, you know.
So any closing thoughts here? Because I'm like, I have the match video already recorded already, but now I have this little talking segment before you guys want to jam some more games. Any closing thoughts you guys have about Premium as a whole, BRO as a whole? What do you guys think is probably going to be some of the strongest archetype after the clan selection?
Not based, MFT best deck.
Yeah.
No, just joking. Please don't nerf it.
Honestly, Honestly, there's a lot of people have been saying the premium Steam Maidens do get a nice little buff with new Uluru. You also got the good joys of Ripples. Yeah.
I also so
high spread but low power. That's Ripples.
So I also think if you're talking about Steam Maidens, I think it's also really good. It's like a Steam Maiden timely like mix. It's really good. It also has a really good ride. It has a really good ride down, and it also has a really good ride up. Raptor. If you want, I think Holy Shine Premium is very underrated. It's essentially just Ripples. But like you have like as many Excel circles as Ripples. You have you play so much counter charge, and and surprisingly, Narukami isn't a bad match. It's one of the bad matches, but it's still manageable. They can nuke your board. Like sure, like okay, a full stunners and a vowing, right? So 5 your guard's gone. You liberate this easily. Refill that up and fill the 3 Viva Excel circles they're about to create just off riding 1 card.
Yeah, but like if Narukami becomes a big issue for ASO and stuff, they can also like still play the Gather, create 2 that essentially gives you a whole board resist, only not for itself. So it has like some counterplay into it. Like I don't think that's a big issue in if it's not a big go ahead. If it becomes an issue, you have enough counterplay to do or play around it.
Yeah, and also for some reason, Holy Shine just Holy Shine just goes back to your hand. So it's free. If you have 2 of them in soul, it's free ultimate strike for the next. It's free ultimate strike next turn.
Holy Shine only goes back to hand if you've got 4 damage.
Yeah, it's on 4 damage, but that you have so much counter. Your opponent needs to hit you at some. Your opponent needs to hit you at some point.
Yeah, they can keep you at 3 till they can one shot. That is the problem.
Yeah, you can counterplay around it. I'm agreeing with that.
Definitely counterplay around it. You have Slavey for the cheats PG. You have the new G card that also kind of cheats PG, but not really. But it's still huge shield. You have this. So there's this Liberator Great 1 from back in the day where you get 5k shield per. So if you counterblast, you get 5k shield per rigor circle you have. So if you have like, I don't know, 11 rear guards, you're about to get 55k shield per card, per one of that card, right? And you also have ways to recycle.
But I
don't have ways to recycle it. But like,
but I don't think like you're now, in my opinion, like talking about like decks that make triple crit attacks, right? But you also have like just decks such as Castile or like NLK and stuff like that that just like can one shot you from like 3 to 6. Well, not even going for those multi-critical plays. They just kill you because of like card restrict, a multi-attack. NMD is also a perfect example of that. Like, yes, you have a counterplay around like multi-critical attacks such as like Ines, what you also have seen, like Hot Spice. But like, I think there's more to it like than like one-shotting from 3 to 6 doesn't really mean that it's like always triple critical attacks.
Yeah.
It's also like due to the multi-attacks and the nature of like how combo heavy premium is at the moment.
It is the ability to restrict the opponent's interaction options, basically guarding, which is more dangerous than big number, big crit at this point in time.
Yeah, and
even the likes of mass multi attacks of Novas is a good example. Can very easily push from 3 to 6 as well.
Yeah, I mean Shiroyuki also kind of does the same thing, right?
Yeah, Shiroyuki as well. Yeah. There's so many ways you can push from 3 to 6. I don't think Holy Shine is going to be as prominent
in premium. Not right now, no.
Not in premium, no.
No.
You have many decks that can like damage map the opponent.
Yeah, definitely.
The only thing which I would say for premium is something to keep an eye on at the moment is actually Eradicators with the combination of both Exterminate and Stunverse coexisting.
I don't like it personally myself, but that's just
that's the only thing which stands out as something to keep an eye on at the moment for something. This may actually be a problem. Everything else seems perfectly fine at this point, but you have a twisted fork there, which is a phrase which I use when there's no good way out of the situation. You have a twisted fork, which, no matter which way that fork is travelled down, you risk being just one-shotted out the game.
I do feel, however, due to the BRO results, they are going to be tapping Stunburst or Exterminate post this ban for this next ban list.
Do you really think? Because we didn't see any now
I do not believe that you would be making regulations off of a single event.
It's technically 3 events.
Yeah, but in
how
AO...
registration works and how the players' distribution works for BRO, whilst it is 3 tournament blocks, it is technically 1 event.
Yeah. And also in AO, no Narukami made it, I think.
No, but you still got the fact of you had 2 out of 8 for EU, 1 being third, top 4. Sorry.
If I could weigh in,
yeah.
If I could weigh in on something, I believe that Stunverse will get hit because it doesn't make sense for them to hit the Nubatama bird because the Nubatama bird made you discard a bunch of hands, so it was hand hate, and then keep Stunverse, which is also hand hate. It's going to get banned for the exact same reason because Bushiroad does not want hand hate in the game. Fact.
You mean Yamiya Kongo or not? Or do you mean the other Great Tree Bird?
The Kokiguru Fusion, it was a V premium hit. Kogigurasu, a V premium hit that nuked 5 cards.
Kogigurasu, not on the English restriction list.
Yes.
Yeah, so you had to go based off the English restriction list.
And the reason it was hit on the Japanese side was because they had Fuken, which generated it on the first grade 3 turn.
Yeah.
There's reasons why Japan had it hit and we didn't. And it's a bigger hand hit for Kogigurasu than it is for Stunverse. Stunverse needs so much setup to nuke your opponent's hand. This needs you to have 2 perfect guards, which you can use Protect 1s for.
Yeah, I also think it's not the first Stunverse that kills you, it's the following Stunverse after that it kills you.
Yeah, it's the second Stunverse.
Yeah, so I just think that what pushes Narukami over the edge is the following grade 3s, right? As you said. But I still think people still really underestimate Sweet Command as a card. Like they look at Maui Saber, they're like, oh shit, look at this broken interact.
Some people play them in combination with each other. I've seen it in action too. I've watched some of the VGCSs, and they have been kind of nutty, especially in combination with a starter and stuff. Yeah, starter on the board.
There are just some turns where like Sweet Command Exterminate gives you more power than than Valiant Saber Stunverse.
Yeah, because I saw a turn where somebody hit like a over trigger, DP over trigger, and they're like, oh well, okay, lol, I'll just like Stunverse now, I guess, into Steve. You know, sure.
I feel it's more going to end up being a choice restrict between Stunverse and Exterminate, so you don't have the options of both.
Possibly, yeah.
With having both of them in the same G zone, the opponent has no counterplay to the deck.
The other archetype that does make me a little bit nervous, not that it's overpowered or anything, is Ripple. For now, at least, it just makes me nervous.
Ripple very much does, yeah.
Ripple, yeah.
I know it's like some people feel it might be overhyped, it might be like sensationalized, but I think it just makes me nervous in the sense that it can Legion multiple times. It can loop all your triggers back into your deck when you want to, and it also has like 5 to 6 Axon markers in one turn. And
it also has so much compression due to Assidious as well.
Exactly. So
the only thing that I find funny is that Chaos actually has a good matchup against Ripple. Funny enough.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Maybe Chaos might rise on the representation because of Ripple. It's so funny to see. Well, Chaos. So funny thing, you can probably just rip 6 Axon markers straight in one turn.
Like, I'm gonna lie, Link Joker has seemed a lot better right now due to a lot of the hits and a lot of our archetypes, especially with the new Stride. It feels like a lot of different variations of Link Jokers could probably rise up and be played, and especially Nightmare Dolls no longer has access to Harry. That also could be have a slap on the wrist now against that archetype too. So I think Link Joker is a lot better right now in this format.
Definitely.
I think Link Joker's in the territory where like it can be competitive viable, but it's due to like players that need to invest into the deck.
Yeah, just nobody's
Yeah,
playing
definitely.
archetypes.
I think also the same for Angels. I also think that Angels has like can be seen as competitive viable, only not like in my opinion at least. There's like you have the Nosio build of course, but like I think there's still like undiscovered areas for the clan as a whole. The same for like Link Joker where it can shine more when people really put the time into it. Not to like brag or something about that, but like the same as MFD with me, right? Like so many people put Gear Chronicle on the shelf, like because they just thought it's like horseshit, it's dog shit. It's like many people put it into the same fraction as like Neonectar and Angels, and I think people were wrong, and that's why I brought it and stuff like that. And I think finally people now realize that's not true. And I think it's the same for like when a good Angel player plays Angels, or like that a good player plays Chaos, or like Link Joker as well, because I think Link Joker has more to it than only Chaos. But like I think it's in the same area, only people haven't figured that out yet.
Well, that's the thing with regulations or in general, when something it is hit, or when something just doesn't perform well in a tournament scene as well. It's so easy for anyone who is not a dedicated theory crafter for that particular clan to just shelve it and wait for someone who is a dedicated theory crafter of that clan to come along and potentially solve it.
Yeah, it just comes down to laziness. It just comes down to people just not trying. No, just like these people
and
don't care.
Someone else has done the hard work. The rest of the crowd just start to copy what has now been proven to work.
Yeah. The net decking appears.
However, just because someone has copied something, if they were not the progenitor of the creation, they may not understand all of the theory behind it. Consequently, they may have the list, but they have less of an idea as to how to actually play it versus the originator of that list.
Yeah.
Like I think, like not to brag or anything like that, of course. Like not like. Yeah,
Didn't
it's
mean to
like
brag, guys, but I'm just gonna brag for a second.
Yeah, I'm not gonna brag, but I'll brag.
I'm just god tier at the game.
But like I've seen multiple MFD lists coming around, like in AO, or like AO, EU, and NA. But like nobody really break the limits to like go to top 8. Like you have one that went into top 16 in NA, but like they immediately got out of it because of like they just got killed by like.
I think they got paired against the Rivia.
That can be thing. I didn't know that, but like
I think they got paired against the Rivia. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. I can actually tell you what they got paired against.
I think. Well, no, I think's the wrong word here. I observed a DI player just blindly fooing, regardless of what their opponent was. And Fugenlin, I'm not sure how to
Fugenlin, yeah.
It's a very powerful card in DI's toolbox. However, there are certain opponents that if you tell your opponent to put a card from hand to the soul, hyperbolic language, but you have just killed yourself.
Yeah, because I was testing my Silver Thorns against the DI the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, put something from your hand into your soul." I'm like, "Thanks, you're helping me. You're giving me." It's reading the situation. You need to know what your opponent's saying and seeing when's the right time to use the cards.
Yeah, definitely true. But that's what I like, at least. I like those types of cards that are really skill intensive. Like, if I have to take, for example, also like, nobody like took DI for granted that it would top. But like, I think the 2 persons that made it to top 8, like Morgan and I don't know the other person's name, but like those 2 people really showed how DI can still be a very good clan to be bringing to like PRO or stuff like that, if piloted well.
And we do have a lot of high power cards right now that, for as good as they are, mishandling is the same as self-destructing. And that's actually it was impressive.
I think for Fugilin's case, everybody I think the better DI players have already come to accept that. Well, if I'm gonna give I have to do it now, but I have to bite the bullet. That it might harm me more than giving me more benefit, right? So I think this is also very good. I think this applied. So the time where I felt this was I was playing against Roto. I was using Shiryuki. He's using DI. So for every time he gives me a full, he's like on a clock where like as soon as I get to double Shimaraku Victor, he just straight loses. But if she is Saint Germain's, because she has Saint Germain in the G zone, then it's very very tough for Shiryuki, right? So the only way that I only realized after the game that my only out was just spamming the normal Shiryuki on rearguard circle and just bashed it. I just bashed her, but I couldn't. So like sometimes giving your opponent cards in what they want in the soul doesn't always mean that you're digging yourself your own grave, right? That's other outs to it. Well, perfect example for probably its new G guard, right? Like, its new G guard is probably one of the strongest in the set, alongside probably the DP G guard and other G guards.
Yep.
But
I think all the G guards are just kind of cracked. I think all of them are good.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I love defensive options. I think all the G guards are just godlike, even to the Royal one.
Yeah, so I went back and looked. It was actually the Vanquisher that knocked out the Mystery Flower on the NA side.
Ah, yeah. But like, Vanquisher, like I won't. Never mind. But back on G guards, like that's true, JJ. Every clan got a good G guard. Bearlook is amazing.
All of them are. All of them just insane. All of them do exactly what you need for your archetype.
Yeah, we got actually Bearlook, like good G guard. The rest is. don't talk about the rest. Bearlook is insane.
True.
Something I was looking for just a second ago.
So which clan did you discard a grade 4 for a PG, by the way? I don't remember. What was it?
So, our next ban list for English is after Clan Collector.
Yes.
So certain regulations that were made in response to Clan Collector. Is it Clan Collector or Clan Selection actually?
I get forgotten. I don't remember.
Clan Collection.
Certain regulations that were made on the last Japanese list in response to Clan Collection releases, not based on tournament information, but because of cautionary measures, we will. Whoops.
Wheeling the chicken, basically.
I may have just dropped Limit Break Silverthorn deck on the floor mid-sentence. Zelma's included. Sorry, man.
Oh
no.
Pain.
Oh no.
But, as I was attempting to say before I had my little accident, we will likely see those regulations translated over to the English restriction list on the next regulation window, which is some point between shop challenges and the start of shop challenges, I would say, and the first of the regionals.
I suspect that it will only start to apply on the last 2 weeks of September, because that's when like Japanese product stream starts.
No, it isn't. The Japanese product stream, I believe. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll give you a date.
September 15th.
So September 14th. September 14th is theirs.
Yeah, but then the ban list only applies like during the Friday, or like during the Friday of when they announce it, or like the Friday the following week. That's why I said that it's probably on like the last. That's why I said the ban is probably going to be only applying on the last 2 weeks of September.
Okay.
We only had a delay because we weren't aligning the regulation.
So I don't want to break up this awesome conversation that we're having. I'm going to stop the recording here for now. If you guys want to jam some games, you can jam some games. I'm going to stay in the call and we can just kind of do this the rest of the day. Does anybody else want to play?
In other words, I love you.